this is Nagarajan. Let's get started on framework walkthrough right from today. Firstly, we'll try to understand the project structure and then with the components which are very essential to drive the test. As part of this automation framework, we are going to specifically focus on typical e-commerce test scenarios. We'll learn right from login page to the checkout complete page. These are all the scenarios. Login page verification, adding product item on inventory page, product text and price verification, checkout page verification, auto checkout verification, checkout complete verification. I've created an extensive framework with real-time use cases. These are easily understandable use cases, so you don't find any difficulty in learning the Cucumber framework. This framework is like a POC. This sets up the standards, how to use different components effectively to perform the efficient automation. Let's have a look at this quick video to visualize the complete end-to-end execution of our automation framework. I believe you'll be very much interested in knowing that. That's why I wanted to show you this first. It's like a trailer before we see the main picture. What to do? New way of learning is very important, right? Here is the video. Please watch it. Let's get into Eclipse right away. So this is our project, Cucumber EAT framework. Firstly, we'll try to understand the source folders: src main Java, src test Java, src test resources, src main resources. src main Java is the most important directory of a Maven project. Normally, this contains the common libraries. Okay, I've created these many packages: code.qa.automation.libs.common. Okay, I've placed two different files: testconstant.java and testutility.java. Okay, and inside this analyst package, I've created two different handler setups: base test handler setup.java, page object handler.java. Okay, and inside this page object libraries, I've created these many packages, object library packages for checkout page, inventory page, login page, and shopping back page. Okay, src test Java, this normally takes the test classes. In Cucumber project, normally it takes test runner, feature files, and step definition. Inside this Cucumber test package, I've created two different test runners. One is for JUnit, another one is for testng test runner. Okay, let me open up. So this is the test runner. Okay, and inside this features package, right, we have a different set of feature files: login page, inventory page, shopping cart page, checkout page, and for a checkout page itself, we have three different pages: first page, second page, and third page. Okay, and inside this step definition package, created different set of step definition files. Okay, don't worry, we're going to see all these files detailedly. For now, I'm just talking about the high-level structure. That's it. src test resources, this normally takes up the property files. Okay, config.property. Let's see. Here we have placed a different set of values. Sometimes these values act like a test data to drive the test. In some cases, right, these values act like a expected results, okay, to perform the test assertion. And we have one more extend properties. This is to set up the extend report configuration. That's it. This is all about our Cucumber automation framework project structure. Now we'll see about POM.xml file. Normally this file contains all the dependencies that essentially builds up the project. See, I've placed all the dependencies here. In my earlier videos, I've given all the primary dependencies. You can refer them. Let's don't waste time. Today we'll talk it only on SRC main Java components. I mean these components. Okay. Let me open up the test constant or Java. Okay. Before that, let me close all the other files. So this file contains all the static variables which are easily accessed by other classes. I've created these many variables for WebDriver wait, browser, okay, home page URL, cart page URL. Look at here, page title, shopping back item count, item name, logged out username, logged out error message, logged out error message, item description, item price, item text, everything. Okay. And we have this method load properties. Okay, this is the loads of the file. I mean the property file, and here we have the file resource path variable. Okay, so this takes up the SRC test resources. I mean this is referring here. Okay, and we are creating an object for this property class, and we have this file input string here. Okay, this is an object being used here. Okay, so the entire config file property is being set here. Using config prop object, we are just loading up the property file. That's it. I think we have discussed numerous times about this in my earlier videos. Anyways, it is good to reiterate again. No issues. Using getProperty method, we are fetching all the values from the property file. We'll fetch all these values: browser, home page URL, cart page URL, inventory page URL, all the checkout page URLs, okay? And the page title, item name, shopping bag item count, logged out username. See, what I'm saying is like, I mean from these values. As I said earlier, some of these values are actually the expected results. I mean the test data. I've not used any JSON files or Excel files for test data. I don't want to complicate more. Let's learn the Cucumber framework very easily. Okay, so that's the reason. And these blocks of codes are being placed inside the try block. That's it. And if there are any exceptions, that will be caught inside the catch block. Okay. At the end, you could see the log method. Using log manager, we are just generating the logs at the console. Now let's move on to test utility. Let me close all the other files. So this class contains all the common methods which are essentially needed for the test. This class extends this particular class. It is constants. This class acts like a superclass. I mean the parent class. Why? Because we are going to use all the static variables placed inside this test constants class. Firstly, we'll look at the get driver setup. If driver is null, we're just invoking this particular method, load property, and then with the invoke browser. This is being placed at the end of this file. Okay. In this method, we are just taking up the browser parameter. We have this if condition here. This matches with Chrome, Firefox, or Edge. Okay. We have the switch condition also. If it's a Firefox, we're just creating the setup using WebDriver Manager. If it's for Chrome, we are just setting up the Chrome driver setup using WebDriver Manager, and we are creating the Chrome options. Okay. And at last, we are creating the object for this Chrome driver. So that's about this invoke browser. We've also created the methods for get URL, okay, get page title, page refresh, navigate back, okay, get current page URL, maximize window. In order to avoid the synchronization issues, we've also created explicit waits. Okay, I don't want to talk more on Selenium concepts. Instead, we focus mainly on Cucumber concepts. So try to create common methods inside this test utility. So wherever we need, we can call these methods easily. I mean inside the test classes. In Cucumber, we call these methods inside step differential files. Now we are done with common package. Before we move on to analyze package, let's understand about page object libraries. Object libraries are nothing but a object repository that contains all the web elements of a page. So for each page, we create each class to hold the corresponding web elements of the page. That's why I've created all these Java files for each page. Let me open up landing page object lib.java. I'll explain about this constructor shortly. Just listen carefully. We should need to place all the login page web elements something like this. That's why we have created all these web element private variables. Username, password, login button, logged out error message, everything. Normally, how do we refer the web element? Using driver.findElement. But here, we use @find by annotation. This is to declare the web elements. If you could keenly watch here, there is no driver.findElement defined here. Then how does it get initialized? To answer your question, we use page factory. Inside this constructor, we have this line, right? Page factory.init elements. It basically initializes the web elements of a page. In the next line, we have created the object for this test utility class. To perform the actions on the web page, I've written these methods. Enter username, enter password and all. Let's pick this method alone, enter username. This takes up the parameter usernames. So this is how we pass the parameters. And we have used a wait until element visible method to avoid the synchronization issues. Likewise for enter password as well. To perform the click actions, we have written the method something like this, using click login button. To get the error message text, we have written a method get logged out error message. So this is how we create all the common action methods. I hope you are very clear so far. Let's move on. Let's get into page object handler. Let me close all the files. Inside this class, we're just trying to create an object for all the page object libraries, something like this. See here. If login page object library is null, then we are creating the object for this login page object library. Okay, if it is not null, we are using the existing value. Likewise for inventory page, shopping bag page, and checkout page. You might think, why do we need to create all these methods? There is some reason. You'll understand while we progress. The main thing is we have this constructor, page object handler with the driver parameter. And this driver gets initialized when this constructor being invoked. How this constructor gets invoked? Whenever we create an object for this particular class, page object handler, this constructor is being called out. Just to sum it up, different page object libraries are easily being called out with these methods: get login page objects, get inventory page objects, get shopping page objects, and so on. Now let's move on to base test handler setup.java, this file. It's a simple class. We have this constructor base test handler setup. Inside this, we are creating an object for this test utility class. Okay, and then for page object handler also. Listen carefully. Inside this page object handler, we are just calling up this method get driver setup. This gives the life to the driver. As I said earlier, the page object handler constructor is being triggered once an object is being created. See this one. So this constructor is being triggered with this object. So once the object is created, this is being called and this driver gets a life. I believe we got the complete clarity now. And the rest all are very simple. Get test utility method returns the test utility object, and page object handler method returns the page object handler object. That's it. With this, I'm done for today. Whatever we have discussed so far, I mean SRC main Java components. Okay, entire thing. Okay, we've talked about common libraries, handlers, and page object components, library components. Everything will be extensively used inside SRC test Java. I mean this one. In the next video, we are going to play around with feature files, step definition, and the test runner. Thank you for watching the video. Take care. Bye-bye.